Jenny. Welcome back to the Bookworms Buddy. It is time for my May wrap up. May was a month that I didn't really pick a lot of books to read. I was supposed to be reading The Fiery Cross, and I'll get into that in a minute. And then also it was the end of the month, the 20th through the 27th, was time for Akosa's middle grade readathon. So let's get right into this. First off, just start with The Fiery Cross. I just don't think I can do it. It's such a struggle. This book is such a struggle. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with this series or not yet. I'm just going to kind of put it on the back burner. I seriously think that the Outlander series should have just been books 1 through 4. Those were all amazing, and now I'm stuck on book 5, and I can barely open it. So I did not read The Fiery Cross. Like I said, it's gone in the back burner. I've not decided what I want to do with that series. I absolutely loved books 1 through 4, and now it's just a struggle. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. So what I'm going to do first is talk about Akosa's readathon for middle grade. I chose 3 books to read in that and only got 1 of them read. But you guys know I'm trying to not pack so many books in a month because I want to be able to go out and do other things and not just sit around reading a book all the time. So I did do better in that aspect. I did read 7 books. Usually it's like 8 to 10, something like that. Anyway, the book that I did read for her readathon was The Emerald Atlas by John Stevens, and I really, really enjoyed this book. The beginning of it's a little confusing, I guess, but when he settles into the story, then it just really gets fantastic. You got Kate, Michael, and Emma, who are orphans pretty much. They're not orphans, their parents aren't dead, but they get left. It's in the middle of the night, and they go to this orphanage, and Mom tells Kate, make sure you look after your brother and sister. It's all confusing. She was only 4 years old then, and the story goes on from there. This is their growing up in their life from that, in this time span where they don't have their parents. And there's great magical elements. There's mystery. It's just an adventure. It's exciting. Always something happening, and I just really enjoyed it. I really loved the characters. I think these kids were beautifully written. Like I said, when it settles down, then it starts to get intriguing and adventurous and exciting. The very beginning, like the prologue, is weird, and then, but it does settle down. It does settle down. It's great. I give this 4 stars. That was the only book that I read. I also had the Wonderland of the Wonderlandful World. Sorry, that's book number 3 in the Ever After High. So the other 2 books that I was supposed to read for this was the Wonderlandful World. This is by Shannon Hale. This is book 3 to the Ever After High. I did start the book, and then the other one was The Door Within, and this is by Wayne Thomas Batson. I am not sure what this trilogy is called, but I will get those 2 books read. Okay, moving on to what I read. What else I read? I started off the month with The Bad Beginning. This is by Lemony Snicket. This is the series of unfortunate events, and when I was reading stuff about this, I had found out that, or I'd heard that it was very dark. And it's true. It is kind of dark for middle schoolers to be reading. But I did enjoy the story, and I will continue with this series. I just need to get the rest of the books. I only have, I want to say 11, 12, and 13. And then I picked this one up because I really wanted to get started on it. I did really enjoy it. I ended up rating this one a 4. The next one we've got here is The Girl Who Chased the Moon. This is by Sarah Addison Allen. And my friend Susan absolutely loves her. She said that this was not the best one to start with, but they had it. I loved the cover, and I actually rated it a 4. I really enjoyed it. You got these two girls. You got one who comes into this town. I think she's came back. She came back to this town, and she's with her grandfather, and her grandfather is what everybody wants to call a giant because he's well over 7 foot tall. And she's trying to fit in, trying to figure out a little bit about her mother. And then you got another girl in here who her name is Julia, and she's like a baker. She bakes all the time. And I mean, they both have their own unique stories, and I really did enjoy this a lot. So if you like Sarah Addison Allen and you've not read this one, just know this is closer to a YA than an adult. The next one we've got here is Gone, and this is by Michael Grant, and I was so excited that I was finally going to read this book. They finally had it up at the used bookstore, but I mean, it was a good story. It just wasn't as good as I expected it to be, but I will be reading the rest of the series, and hopefully it'll pick up. This is a book where all the people ages 14 and up disappear, and they're left with kids, toddlers, infants, and they're trying to figure things out, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. So I really did enjoy the plot line. Things were just kind of odd with it. I don't know. But I ended up rating it 3 stars. I will continue with the series. It is dystopian. That could be why I didn't get really excited. But I just liked what the plot was. So, yeah, I rated it 3. And the last one we've got here is Others by James Herbert. And this book we picked out, me and Susan picked to just read together. So we did it this month. I don't know if she's still reading it or if she's gotten to it or what. I know she started it. I don't know if she's finished it or not. But the beginning is really slow. But then, as you get further through it, it's a very bizarre story. Very disturbing, dark. And I'm really glad that I did read it. I ended up rating this one 3.5 stars. But yeah, it's really, really disturbing. Very different. Not what I expected at all. And I read 2 books with my grandson this month, and one of them was Bud. This is about a boy who likes to garden, but his parents want him to be neat and clean, and they don't want him to be an embarrassment because he's dirty all the time because he's out in the garden or what have you. Well, his grandfather is coming to visit. His parents are just freaking out, and then Bud is freaking out because he doesn't know if his garden's good enough, and that's all I'm going to tell you. It was a really, really, really cute story. And Avery really seemed to enjoy this one, and we gave it 4 stars. The other book that we read together was Buzz, and this one is about a little boy who swallows a bug. And there's like bug police in this little boy's body, and they're trying to get the bug out of Buzz's body, and that's pretty much the story for that one. Avery did not seem as interested in this one. I thought it was okay. The illustrations were okay, but he did not have that. I don't think he felt that excitement that he did with Bud. So yeah, that one we rated a 3. So that is pretty much my wrap up for May. All of my reviews you will find on my written reviews you will find on Goodreads or on my blog, either one. So you can go check those out if you want to see my full reviews. If you've read any of these books, let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Thanks guys for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.